Welcome to One on One. I'm Greg Bassey, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. And again today we have my favorite library director. She's back, Andrea Berstler. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you, Greg. I'm always glad to be here.
Now, the library is a place you're supposed to go, and it's just nice and quiet, and you're reflective, and you're by yourself, just you and a book.
Yeah, don't make me laugh.
But you're creating all this cool stuff going on this spring with all these library book festivals. Tell me what's going on.
Well, April's National Library Month, and what we wanted to do was we wanted to recognize the work of Dr. Ernie Bond from SU. And Ernie
Great
was
guy.
Wonderful. And the ultimate knowledge base for information on children's literature. And he held this great festival every year on the campus of SU, the Children's Literature Festival. And he would bring in authors and introduce people to, get the authors talking to the readers, and it's always the great thing. He passed away last fall suddenly. So we wanted to do something to honor him, and so this team got together and started talking about what could we do. And we started talking about a book drive, and then we started talking about a block party, and then we started talking about some other things. And we realized there were a lot of organizations in the community doing literature and literacy-based events all about the same time. Mm-hmm. So we wound up with 2 months worth of events starting actually this week, starting April 6th and going through May 20th. We labeled the whole thing the Salisbury Book Festival, but they're all different kinds of events that will be focused on reading and making reading fun and ways you can engage with books. So we've got things like the Wild About Reading Night at the Zoo and a 5K that the Board of Ed's putting on for wellness and literacy, and the Salisbury University's Book Festival. And we have a book drive going on that'll start mid-April and go through the May 20th. And those books will be collected and handed out to organizations and schools in the Title I areas. So kids who don't have books at home can have a book. And of course for the library, the big thing is the Light of Literacy Awards, which is April 20th.
Right. And I looked at that list and I'm not one of the nominees again. Was there a problem with the nomination committee? Or,
well,
or are people actually counting the typos in the Independent?
Well,
Could that be?
That may have been it. I'm not on the nominating committee, so I can't address that.
I'll just try to work harder.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Get one of your friends to nominate them, or bribe somebody.
Or just not have any typos in the paper.
Well, that would work too. Yes. Write about the library more. Maybe I can work something out. But then May 20th, 1 month from that, we're going to be holding a block party downtown. And
that's exciting to me.
I think we're so juiced about this. It's a one-day event. We're going to have authors and publishers. We're going to have crafters. Rec and Parks is part of this. The Board of Ed. We have about 12 to 14 partners, organizations in the community that are going to help us out. There'll be food. We'll have bouncy houses. We're going to have a clown and a juggler and live performances. A couple of the team mascots will be out. The Sherman from the Shorebirds will be there, and we're trying to work on getting Sammy for the Seagull from SU. And they all start with S, we kind of noticed, because the library's mascot is Sneaks the cat.
Yes.
And he'll be there as well. And we'll have celebrity readers. And the idea is just to show how much fun you can have around books and reading and stories. And it'll be a great time for parents to bring their kids out, because we will also have laid out a lot of the activities that will be available over the summer. So Rec and Parks is going to have all of their stuff there for their summer camps and their summer activities and their leagues. And we'll have our summer reading stuff. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. It really is.
We'll go back to the thing, but let me talk about summer reading real quick, because it's so important. And it's so important this time of year to get organized on that, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Summer reading's a big thing. It helps with the summer slide, which is that knowledge that kids lose over the summer because they're not engaged in formal reading. And children who do not read over the summer, who do not engage with books and engage with literacy, tend to lose ground a little each year. So by the time they hit 4th or 5th grade, they can be upwards of almost a whole grade behind in their reading and literacy skills compared to their counterparts who do engage in reading over the summer. So we try and make it fun. Every week we have a different performer come in, we have contests, we have prizes, and we have something for kids from the time that they're born all the way up through teens and adults. And there's different programs for everybody, and they can all participate. So our staff gets real excited about summer reading. It's
These
sort
are
of
most days at the library
Yeah.
during the summer.
Yep. There's always something going on in the summer.
Right.
And then once a week we bring somebody in. We'll have a music performer or a magician or for the kids. And those are already all up on our summer reading calendar on our website.
Cool. So back to the block party.
Okay.
You're going to have it right there in the street or at headquarters
Yeah,
live,
yeah,
or
yeah.
how's it going to be set up?
We're partnering with the city,
Okay.
and so we're going to close Division Street in front of the library
Right.
and across the bridge.
Okay.
And we're going to close Market Street right next to the library. So we'll
Excellent.
have it in the park there next to the library. It'll go across the bridge and over to the other side of the Riverwalk. Figured the city invested all this money in a really nice Riverwalk. We should put it to
We
use.
should use it, right?
So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And we're going to have kids activities across the river. I think we got kayak demonstrations from coming, and Ranger Bob is bringing animals. The zoo will be there. So there'll be a lot of children's activities, but then there'll be some craft vendors and some book vendors and authors, and they'll be sharing their work as well, and that'll be kind of fun.
And what is this date for this?
May 20th. It's
May
exactly
20th.
1 month from the Literacy Breakfast. So
Excellent.
the book drive starts April 20th at the Literacy Breakfast, and it ends May 20th at the block party. And it's a Saturday. It's 10 to 4.
10 to 4 on the Saturday.
And completely free. Just come. We want
Yeah.
everybody to come and have a good time.
And the weather's always perfect on that weekend.
Well,
It's a good
we've already
weekend.
put in an order for that. We've already put in an order for that. It had better be good because we have no alternative rain plans at this point.
Right.
The other really cool thing we're having that day, the State Library is bringing a virtual reality road show down for us.
Really?
That'll be in the basement of the library because all the equipment has to be kept inside.
Okay.
But we'll have the headgear and all the VR stuff, and
Wow.
people can come and play and try it out. And they'll have the trainers there, so they'll have the expert staff to run it.
Right.
So.
Lights of Literacy.
Yes.
How's that going?
Oh, it's going wonderfully. The nominees.
Big event.
It is a big event, and the tickets are starting to sell out, so people really
Good.
need to get they need to buy their
Good.
tickets. We've released the nominees. I guess we're just a couple weeks out here. Peter Francho's our keynote speaker. He's
Right.
going to talk about financial literacy, so we're excited about that. And we'll be officially announcing the Salisbury Reads title for our Community Read program, which is also part of the book festival.
This is a book we're all going to read.
Exactly.
Okay.
The title, the title of
giant
that
book
is
club for the
a
town.
giant book club for Salisbury. That's exactly right. For 1 month, you will have something in common with people that you may not have anything else in common with. And so the title is The Underground Railroad.
Oh, I thought it was a secret.
It's not a secret. We've been putting it on the website for a couple weeks.
Because I knew what it was, and I thought I was special
no.
because I knew what it was.
Yeah, well, you are special, but
But the Underground
So-
Rail, it's perfect.
it is. It is.
It's
The Harriet
perfect.
Tubman Museum opened
Yeah.
this year, and it's a great story. Award-winning. It's won multiple awards. Written by Colson Whitehead, with an alternative history piece going on about the Underground Railroad being a real railroad, a real train that really runs underground. And it puts a really interesting slant on that story and on the way it would impact culture. And it discusses different ways that the United States could have come out of slavery outside of a civil war.
Right.
And how some of them wouldn't have worked, and how some of them are sort of this legacy piece. It's well written and it's really interesting. We'll have, thanks to the Community Foundation, we'll have about 200 copies to give out at the library locations, and people can pick them up there.
Yeah, my daughter read it for some reason, and it really moved her. She learned a lot, and she loved the hook of the the real railroad. That was really intriguing for her.
It is. It really is. But the characters are well written. They're very well developed, and it starts reading like almost a historic piece. When you first get into it, you're thinking, well, this must be somebody's real story. But then you realize it kind of takes a left-hand turn, but it's a great book. So copies of that will be available starting April 20th, and that's when we're doing the official launch for that. And the mayor will be there to help us, because this was his idea. He asked us for this.
Wow. Okay.
We did Maryland One Read in the fall. Every fall, the state does this program. And he came to one of the programs and he said, I really like this. Can we do one for Salisbury? Well, you know me, you just have to ask, and I'm gone. So we picked a book, and we got a committee together. We found a book we really liked, and we started We started planning events. We've got a book discussion going. There'll be an online reading guide people can download. And what we want them to do is read the book and talk about it at work or talk about it at their neighborhood
Right.
as an opportunity to get to maybe talk to someone who you really don't know what to talk to them about. So you
Right.
can ask them, have you read The One Read? Have you read Underground Railroad? And start a conversation.
What's the zoo reading thing? What is that
The
they're doing?
zoo does a program every year called Wild About Reading.
Right.
And kids can come in, and it's April 6th. Kids can come in and they participate in crafts that have to do with zoo animals and with literacy. But they're also, I know the zoo does story times every month at the zoo.
Right.
They're really engaged with the reading piece. Our children's librarians go down there and help them with that. And so they really do work on the education piece with the animals, as well as just the novelty of going and seeing, the wallabies and whatever
Right.
else they've got going on down there. So we really appreciate that. It's nice to be able to partner with those kind of organizations.
Right. So Lights of Literacy, who won last year? I don't remember.
Oh gosh, we had 7 winners last year.
Great.
The most interesting one, I think, was probably the award that we gave to SU and to ECI for the philosophy discussion that the SU students carry on
Yes.
down at ECI inside of the prison. It was really eye-opening, both for the prisoners, but then also for the students to go down and talk to these people and have faces, because it's real easy to stereotype someone who's incarcerated, and they were able to remove that piece. The other one was for, we gave out a Liz Bellavance Award last year, which is our highest honor. We don't give it every year.
Right.
And Jan Reagan had won that for her work with the Poplar Hill Release Station and with the individuals who were coming out of incarceration but who weren't English language learners, and they couldn't speak English well, and that wasn't their native tongue, and they were having trouble navigating the system after they got out. And so she was working with them and working with their families to help get them resituated into the community. Evidently, it was part of what she did when she was working, and she retired. She just kept doing it. And it was a really inspiring story of someone who's willing to donate their time and donate their energy
Right.
to help people around them improve their lives, which is exactly what the Light of Literacy Awards is all about.
Right.
So we're
And named after the right person. Liz Bellavance gave so much to this community.
Yeah. The board, when Liz Bellavance was on the library board for quite a while, and then she was an active member of the Friends. And in her own Liz Bellavance way, she really challenged us to not allow ourselves to be boxed in. She challenged our thoughts on literacy. She challenged the definition of literacy. And it made us really think about expanding literacy beyond just reading to, computers and health and finance.
Right.
She was the driving force behind a lot of that. So when she passed away, the board said, we need to do something to sort of mark that she was so involved with us here and so engaged. And I was really pleased when they decided that this was what they were going to do. So we give it out sporadically because you really have to kind of go above and beyond to reach the level where Liz Bellavance
Right.
was. She would work with people that she would get in and get involved in a work, and people had no idea she was even doing it. It wasn't for press. It wasn't for limelight. It wasn't because she wanted a pat on the back.
Right.
It's because she saw something that needed to be done, and so she would do it. And I think that that's a model that we really wanted to hold up and say, there are other people in the community that are doing this, and we want to make sure that they're acknowledged. So we're real excited about that. On top of everything else with Light of Literacy and launching the book drive, we're also going to be having a week-long, the next week is Financial Literacy Week, and we're going to be having a week-long series in all of the library locations with financial instruction and
So
literacy.
important.
Oh, my word. People do not realize how much money they lose if they're not financially literate.
Right.
So Audrey Orr, who's
Well,
one
they
of our
call that
board-
now a dumb tax.
They do.
Yeah,
do.
I'm paying
They
a
do.
dumb tax.
And it's true. They do,
Yeah.
by not using bank accounts well, or by not managing your finances well and living on a budget, people lose money and they don't even realize the money's gone. So Audrey Orr, who's one of our board members, has taken this as a spearhead, and she's a retired banker, a retired financial professional, and she's helped us arrange for a lot of instruction, things like living on a budget, and what if you're going to be retiring, what things should you know, because it takes you like a year to plan to retire. to make sure that you've got everything in place you need to with the state, and you've got all of your accounts
Yeah.
in order, and you've got the paperwork filled out, and you've got your Medicare. There's a lot of steps to it now. It's not just you go in one day and say I'm done.
Yeah, and you've
people
worked
need to
so
know
hard
that.
through your life, you don't want to screw it up by,
That's
not doing
exactly
the right
right.
thing at the very end.
That's exactly right. You wind
Yeah.
up costing yourself that dumb tax again, And it's really interesting in our day of people banking online and all this sort of thing, that sometimes people don't realize you still need to reconcile your checking
Yes.
account. You still need to go through the steps of managing your money. It's not just a stream that you just flow along with. You actually have to pay attention. So that's what that week will be focused on.
And with
we're really excited
Franchot,
about
the
that.
comptroller, coming to talk about that too. That's a perfect tie-in
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah. That was really what we were going for. And we know that financial literacy is a big thing with him. He understands at the state level the impact of people who don't know how to file their taxes properly, or how they should be claiming things. And, it really does cost the United States a lot of money, and it costs individuals money if they're not literate. It's like health literacy. There are estimates that health illiteracy, costs us $250 billion a year.
Amazing.
Just because people don't understand how to take their medicines, what questions to ask their doctor. And they go in, they go to the doctor gives them instructions. They follow half the instructions. They don't remember the rest. They don't understand the rest. And all of a sudden they're back in the doctor's office saying, well, this isn't working, but they're not really doing what they were told to do, or taking the medicines they were told to take.
Right.
And then they get other medicines, and so there's more cost incurred, and it's a real problem. So we're real pleased about the financial literacy piece. We're really hoping that people will pick up a few pointers and learn how to be in charge of their own money.
Excellent. Library's a busy place.
Always, always.
Every time I'm in there, I'm like, where am I going to sit? Because
Gosh,
it's a busy place.
It is. It really is. And we're pleased for that. And it's not, there's one section of the library we keep real quiet, but the rest of it's very busy. It's
Yeah.
a lot of activity. It's going to get more over the summer. In addition to summer reading, we're going to be installing new software for our catalog. So the catalog you see online will be different. And that's the software that runs everything in the library. So it's a big thing for us. And that will come out in late August. That will roll out. And then we're working with the county, and we're going to be doing some renovations to the building, putting in carpeting, renovating restrooms, that kind of thing. Try and make the building a little more
Right.
easy on the eye,
Right.
and a little more usable. It's been, I don't know, almost 12, 13 years since we put carpet down, and the restrooms were original in 1980, so we thought it was probably time to. So that'll be exciting when you come in September. The building will look really new inside, and the software will be really new. We're thankful the regional library, the Eastern Shore Regional Library, is covering the cost of this new software, and all 8 libraries on the shore will have a shared catalog.
Wow.
Which is real exciting. We have 4 libraries now in our catalog, the lower shore, but this is all 8, all the way up to Kent County, and so you'll be able to go online and place a hold on any book, pretty much any book, in those 8 libraries, and have it delivered within a couple days usually.
Now, is this Dewey Decimal System?
Always, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We stick with Dewey. It's a little tough to get away from it once you've been there.
I love it.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, I love it. To me, it's like the secret ingredient.
It's the
to
secret
the library.
code for the library.
Yeah.
It's like the secret handshake.
Yeah,
if you
because
know
I
what
used to
Dewey
love
is.
when people would say, "Where's?" I go 800. I always
Where are
knew
the
I had
cookbooks,
some idea where things were.
Yep. Where are the cookbooks?
Yeah.
Where are the storytelling books?
References 900.
Yes.
See, I was always in 900. Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Most people don't realize that. But yeah. No, we still use Dewey, and we still, books are alphabetical. The fiction books, the novels.
Do you still have the stacks? The stacks are still there.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could
yeah.
that ever go away?
I think it'll be a long time. People have a real affinity for the print.
It feels good.
It does. There's
The smell,
that
the
tactile experience.
finding the card is there. I mean, it's like a detective thing. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
And so I think we'll probably be keeping print materials for quite a long. In fact, last quarter of last year, print material sales actually outdid electronic material, the digital
Wow.
copy. So the first time in a couple of years that's happened. And what they're seeing is a balance, between ebooks and print books. But the cool thing is we both. We have a huge collection of electronic digital materials,
I
books,
don't think people know that.
audiobooks. They don't.
It's
Streaming
amazing how much you
movies,
have. Yes.
streaming music.
Right, you can log in through your site now and
Yes,
stream.
and
Yes.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can download it and watch it later
Right.
for free. You know, movies, music, graphic novels, you know, comic books, audio books, print books. We have them all online. We have a virtual library now, and it's really cool. There's a lot of stuff on there, and you're right. Most people, when I say, well, you know, you can borrow movies online, they're like,
Well, I had a friend the other day. He was going on a long car trip. He said, "I got to swing by the library and get some books on tape." And I was like, they have that over there?" You know, and I didn't even know. And I should
Yeah.
know. If anyone, I should know.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
We have books on CD in the library,
Right.
and we have MP3 and iTunes format books online that you can download, and we have those from 2 different sites. So there's 2 different resources online where you can download audiobooks
Right.
to listen to in your car, and I love that. I mean, I don't drive very much, but when I drive back to PA to visit family or something, we always have one on tap.
And what's the library card cost?
Nothing.
Nothing. Used to be 15 cents.
0. No. Oh my. It has been a while since you've gotten a card, hasn't it?
It used to be 15 cents.
No, they're free. Nice, bright red Wacomico Public Libraries. And we do charge you $1 if you lose it, because that's
yeah.
what it costs us to buy them. But your
Right.
first one's free.
Right.
So we got a lot of exciting things going on. People should stop and check them out.
Bookmobile. I see the bookmobile everywhere.
Bookmobiles everywhere. It stops a lot of schools. The bookmobile finally got so completely overwhelmed that we've started a second van that goes to daycares.
Wow.
Because we couldn't get to them all. So this van takes stuff to the daycares in the community, and the bookmobile visits a lot of the Title I schools, helps supplement their stuff. And in fact, this fall we're looking at working with the Board of Ed. We're trying to get a program started where every student in Wacomico Public Schools will have a library card, and they'll have access to all of our online resources just because they're enrolled in school, which is real exciting as well, because we have a lot of databases the school doesn't have, and they have stuff we don't have, so it's nice that we can,
Right.
you know, supplement that way.
Well, when I was in school, like 3rd, 4th grade, they'd put us on the bus, take us to the library, and we would all get our library cards. We'd all
Yeah.
sign up. They don't do that anymore?
We
or-
do the field trips,
Okay.
And we send home the applications, but the problem is some of the parents don't send them back.
Right.
And so we can't give them full library cards because there's not a responsible adult. So this way they'll be able to use the online stuff, borrow a couple of books, but not the full set like you can with a real card. But they'll at least have access to it to do their homework. You know, they can go online and use our databases and our software and our language and all that stuff to to get their homework done. And of course they can come in and stop at the Homework Help Center
Right.
and, you know, do it that way as well. So we have a lot of fun.
That's
We really do. I have got the best. I say this to people all the time. I have the best job. I really do. It is just way too much fun.
Now, last week, recently, talking about the school board, you were honored by the Wacomico County Board of Education as the
The Friend of Education.
friend of it. Now, that's
Yes.
that's something that's not on my resume.
It is. We'll work on it, Greg.
I remember the first teacher banquet I went to after I became editor of the Daily. There was a lot of bad blood, and I was just back in town, and I was introduced at the event, and they booed me. I'll never forget that.
Oh my.
That's a great feeling, you know. But here you are winning the big award at the end of the night.
Yeah, we were. I was really pleased. Susan Bounds, who's the chair of our Friends of the Library, and I were both honored.
She's also
Yes,
won. Yeah.
right. The Friends of the Library and the library were honored as the Friend of Education. For us, there was a lot to that, because that's been one of our highest priorities for the last 5 years, has been to be seen as the Friend of Education. We are the partner for the public schools. The things they can't do because they need to close at 3, we can do because we can stay open late.
Right.
You know, the resources they don't get, we get. And it's the idea is that we're really supposed to be hand in hand with educating students here. So it was just heartwarming, truly heartwarming to have Margot Handy get up and give us this award. Margot's been a great library
Isn't she
supporter.
great? Yeah.
She really is, and I just don't know what they're going to do. She's retiring, and you know, she's going to leave quite a hole behind. But to have her speak so well of the library, the staff they've worked really hard at this, and it was an honor.
Yeah.
To have them recognize that work and say, you know, that we're their colleague in education. We are their partner.
Well, when I was in high school, it seemed like the high school libraries, the school libraries competed with the other library.
Yeah.
Like the high school libraries would try to get books that the other library didn't have and all that. But it's not like that anymore.
not like
They're
that,
all
no.
supporting each other.
Exactly.
And I think that's a testament to you. I really do.
Well, thank you, and it also reflects the new superintendent of schools, her approach as well. No one can live in a silo in this day and age. You can't. There's not enough resources. And no one wants to put up with it. Why
Right.
duplicate work?
Right.
There's too many things going on.
Yeah.
So one by one, the organizations in the community, we've watched as they've ripped down the silos and have started reaching out to communities, the partner organizations, and saying, look, you're doing that and we're doing this and let's work together. Sort of you have the roller skate, I have the key thing, you
Right.
know. And the school has done that. And under Donna's leadership, they've done a really a remarkable job. So it's been great watching, and it's been great having them reach out to us and say, we want to help, we want to be a part of this.
It's terrific that you got recognized. That's great.
Yeah. It's great for my staff.
Yeah.
They work really hard, and they don't always get the recognition that they should. I wish I could have them all on your show, but there's 62 of them. And I think that'd kind of be hard.
We could do 1 minute at a time.
There
with each
you go.
person.
There you go. Some of them you could not keep to a minute. I can tell you that right
That would
now.
be a problem, yeah.
And some of them, if you got 5 words, I would be impressed. But they're great, and they work together as a team, and this is a tribute to their efforts in being educators in this community.
All right, we'll put the dates up, but summarize all the things that are going on
Okay.
so I can put it on my calendar.
All right, so April
So
6th is the zoo event.
This will televise after the April
Yes.
6th. So that zoo event was great last weekend. So I hope you were there. And the next one after that?
And then, of course, April 7th is a 5K, and that will probably also
Right.
be passed.
Right.
The next big one will be the Literacy Breakfast, which is April 20th.
That's at the Civic Center. Tickets are
Yes,
still available.
Tickets are still available. It's $20,
Yeah.
and you
It's
get a
worth it.
great breakfast and a great
Deducted
event.
from your taxes.
There you go. It's a contribution to the Friends.
Right.
That's
financial literacy right there. You can deduct it from your
Absolutely.
taxes.
So the 22nd is the Salisbury Literature Festival. You can go onto SU's website for more information on that. That's a more structured and formal
Right.
program.
That's one that's always been there.
Right. That's the authors come. It's a great event.
Right. That's the Dr. Bond one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Beginning April 20th, there will be 25 sites throughout the city that will be collecting books for the book drive. And then Financial Literacy Week is the following week, beginning April 22nd as well. And then May 20th is the block party. That's
Right.
the end, the celebration, the end of the One Reads program for the Underground Railroad, the end of the book drive. So we're really going to have a big blowout finale
Right.
that day.
And everyone should pick at least 2 events to go to, but everyone has to go to the May 20th event.
Go to the May 20th one and come to the block party. Really, that's
Right.
the fun one. It's free. We've got a couple of food trucks lined up, so come and spend the day with us and have yourself a really good time.
And talk books.
Talk books.
So much
Absolutely.
fun.
Absolutely. Come share the storytelling with the celebrity readers and help your kids learn to love books.
Great little lesson here at the end from my favorite library director, Andrea Berstler. Thank you for being here today.
You're very welcome, Greg.
It's just a thrill to have you as always.
Oh, I always enjoy it. It's always a fun time.
Greg Bassett from the Salisbury Independent Newspaper, another edition of One-on-One right here on PAC 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and One-on-One. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.